Happy Saturday afternoon story. Hopefully you can get through this in a few minutes. Gotta run to the school. But in the meantime, lunch bunnies. I hope you had a wonderful meal. I think I had 2 lunches just now. Yeah, I pigged out at a party celebration and had 2 desserts, ice cream, cookie, cake, and 2 lunches. Well, anyway, let's talk about lunch bunnies. And it's by Catherine Lasky and illustrated by Marilyn Hafner. Hurry, Clyde. See that? Oh, I don't know if I'm going to have time to read this. Let's see. Clyde was practicing. He was carrying a tray with a small carton of milk, an orange, and a peanut butter and jelly sandwich across the kitchen to the table. The orange began a slow roll toward the milk carton. Clyde stopped walking and tipped the tray slightly to make it level. "That's great," said his mom, watching him. Tomorrow was Clyde's first day of school. Oh, we recently had the 100th day of school. Well, he was ready to learn how to read and ready to learn how to write, but he was not ready for lunch. You see how he's practicing? Woo! You know, kids' issues are real, things that they think about. Oh my goodness. "You better hope they don't have soup," his oldest brother murmured. That's what Jefferson said. "They won't have soup on the first day of school," said their mother. "That would be too much for first graders like Clyde." "You never know," Jefferson said. "Oh," gasped Clyde. He could just hear a big wet splat of soup on the cafeteria floor. "Yeah," said Jefferson, as if he were reading Clyde's thoughts. "If the soup spills, the lunch ladies make you clean it up. And you really better hope they don't have mystery goosh." And I'm on the way to the school, to the first grade room. And like I said, these are real concerns of little ones, 7-year-old, 6-year-olds. "What's mystery goosh?" asked Clyde, trying to keep his voice as steady as the tray. "Well," said Jefferson, "you know how you hate food that touches? Like when the applesauce slops into the green beans and the beet juice runs into the mashed potatoes and makes them pink?" "Yeah," said Clyde slowly. "That's what mystery goosh is," said Jefferson, "except at school the cooks do it on purpose. They goosh up all these foods together: peas, carrots, a little yogurt, some cottage cheese for good measure, and you have to eat every bite. Ew. Before you know it, it's just, oh my goodness, what color is it? You don't even know." Well, let's see. "Jefferson," their mother said sharply, "don't go making up nonsense and frightening your brother. It's not nonsense, Mom. And mystery goosh is frightening. It's yuck." Mystery goosh, Clyde hadn't heard about that, but he had heard about the lunch ladies, Gloria and old Mrs. Twig and Frances. They were very large and very bristly. They had scratchy voices and yelled at anyone who didn't finish his lunch or was too noisy. Lunch was beginning to sound horrible. When Clyde went to bed, he said to his mother, "We should have practice with soup." "Don't worry, you'll do just fine," his mom said. "But what if," Clyde swallowed hard. "What if what?" his mom asked. "What if no one wants to eat lunch with me?" he whispered. "Don't be silly, Clyde. You'll make friends. I like eating lunch with you." "But you're my mother. That doesn't count." "Well, even if I weren't, I'd still want to eat lunch with you." Clyde tried to imagine her short and eating lunch in a school cafeteria. It was hard. Oh, that's sweet. That night, look at this. Look at this. That night, Clyde dreamed about cafeteria lines miles long where you had to carry your tray up hills and over mountains, across rivers and down through valleys. There were scolding lunch ladies around every bin making you mop up spilled soup, and there was no one to help him. He felt so alone. Oh my goodness. It's real. The next morning, Clyde's mother put his lunch money into a special little envelope. She made sure to give him the exact amount so he wouldn't have to get change. "Now, what you're going to do when you get in the lunch line, Clyde?" she asked. "I get the tray from the stack. I put it on the counter to slide it along. I get out my envelope and open it up so the money lady can get it easy." You won't have time to do all that, Jefferson interrupted. Everybody's in a hurry. They're not going to want to wait around while old Clyde takes out his envelope, drops a dime or two on the floor. Hush, Jefferson, said their mother sharply. She turned to Clyde. You're going to do just fine, dear. And she kissed them both goodbye. Yeah. All morning long, Clyde worried. He worried through circle time, through reading, and through art. Though he did learn how to read his first word and make a nice picture. Nice. Then the teacher announced, lunchtime. Please have your lunch money ready. And remember, no shoving in line. Shoving? Clyde hadn't heard about this. The thought was just too horrible. Have you ever heard about Gloria, the lunch lady? The little girl next to him said. She yells all the time. That's what my sister told me. No, said another boy. That's Mrs. Twig. She's hard of hearing. She can never hear what you say, and she gets the change mixed up all the time. Oh, that sounds like chaos. It's good that lunches, they don't collect coins anymore. It's paperless and coinless. What's for lunch? Clyde said softly. There was no answer from anyone. Then a very small voice said, I sure hope it's not soup. Or mystery goose, said Clyde. I wish Jell-O. Clyde decided right then to stand in line next to the girl who wished for Jell-O. Her name was Rosemary. Clyde's class marched single file down the stairs with the other grades. Everybody looked bigger and more ready for lunch than Clyde would ever be. Clyde suddenly wished he could skip lunch completely, like this music is skipping. I have a stomach ache, he whispered, but no one heard him. Uh-oh. You see, what are they up to here? This looked like sometimes my lunch line. Yeah. And we got to be cognizant as adults. All that yelling. Yeah, that sometimes really disturbs children. Look at this. Let's move that line. Clyde saw something large and shadowy in the doorway. Oh, boy. It must be Gloria. You see how short? Intimidating. Look. Oh, let's see. Clyde had a close-up look. Gloria was big and lumpy. She wore a spidery hairnet and had tufty eyebrows. Both hands on the tray, she said, turning toward Clyde. Oh, you must be Jefferson's little brother. You look just like him. What's your name? Clyde, what's that? I can't hear you, she said. Her voice was large. Clyde, what? Right here, Sonny. And this time she bent over and pulled him toward her ear. Clyde, what a nice name. It rhymes with slide. And that's what you have to do. Slide the tray along the counter, okay? Clyde, slide, she chuckled. Okay. Aw, that was sweet. Clyde took his tray. Sweetie, another lunch lady behind the counter held up an ice cream scoop. You want some? It's mashed potatoes, not ice cream, whispered Rosemary to Clyde. Weird. There were green beans, too, and something in a bun with catsup called sloppy bins. And there was Jell-O, sloppy bins, not sloppy Joe. But it was very strange Jell-O, stiff and carved into little cubes. It didn't shake or shimmer like the Jell-O that Clyde's mom made. Oh, we got some mystery food here. Breakfast is important. Oh, brother. What's here? Finally, they came to Mrs. Twig, the money lady. She seemed very old. Clyde was worried. Would she be able to see his money? Rosemary gave old Mrs. Twig her money. She did it perfectly and was now heading toward a lunch table for first and second graders. It was Clyde's turn. I have the exact change, he said in a loud, clear voice. Ooh, beautiful. Thank you, Sonny, Mrs. Twig nodded and smiled. Now for the last hard part, to pick up his tray and carry it to the table. He could see Rosemary ahead of him. Oh, dear, he thought. There was some spilled juice on the floor. Oh, boy. And she was heading right for it. Suddenly, he saw her skid. Oh, no. Oh, how many pieces of food do I see on the floor? Oh, she hung onto the tray. Clyde felt his breath freeze. The dish of Jell-O went flying off. The little red ruby cubes of jello were spinning through the air. They bounced off the floor and boing, boing, jumped before they finally stopped. Oh my goodness. Look at everybody looking. Oh my goodness. Thanks for clearing your table. Oh, yeah. Oh no, Clyde thought. Poor Rosemary. He remembered how the lunch ladies never help you clean up. Come on, Rosemary, I'll help you, Clyde said. Rosemary was trembling. Come on, it's just the jello. All your other food is still on the tray. They're laughing at me, Rosemary sniffled. Then a big soft shadow slid over them. No, no, sweetie. They're laughing at the stupid jello. Who ever heard of jello that boings? It was Gloria. Let me help you here. Her immense lumpy body seemed to fill up the air around them. Awfully nice of you to help, Sonny. What did you say your name was? Clyde. I mean Clyde. How about that? A table of fourth graders started to snicker. Gloria glared. Listen to me. There'll be no laughing, no uncalled for remarks. We've had an accident here. The table fell silent. There wasn't a single snicker or chuckle, not a word. A little second grader climbed down from her chair and began to help. Soon all the jello cubes were picked up. Clyde and Rosemary found their way to their lunch table and sat down. Here's some new jello for you, sweetie, Gloria said. Boing, boing, jello, Rosemary giggled. You wish for jello, Clyde said. Yes, she said quietly, and I wish for a friend too. You did, Clyde said. So did I. And we forgot all about his worries. That night, Clyde helped his mother serve dinner. Why, look at Clyde, said his father proudly. Watch out for that milk, muttered Jefferson. But Clyde held the tray steady, and the milk did not spill. Not a single drop. Wow, what a cool story, lunch buddies. So you never know who will be out there for you to help you. We thought that those large lunch ladies were going to be mean, and they turned out to be sweet women rabbits. So you be a sweet woman rabbit. You be the reassuring force for those who might be timid and scared, and make the difference out here. All right, enjoy the rest of the afternoon and evening.